What's going on, Junkies? Welcome back to another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro. Today, we're going to be talking about the Acolyte episode 5, which, we're past the halfway point, and we got shall we say, a very brutal episode 5. Lots of questions to be answered, lots of things to talk about. We'll also be addressing some of the stuff that some of the haters have to say, but we also got some breaking news concerning San Diego Comic-Con, looking at the Superman set photos and a couple of trailers that we want you guys to look at. But before I get too far into my little diatribe, introduce who's going to be on the show with me today. My friends, as always, the great Adakuji, Simon Says, and GQ. What is going on, fellas?
I'm back.
Good to see you. The McDowell's episode. So, Dido obviously was in Colorado, and he had
last week.
He had a good time despite his I think some of his family members' best attempts to make it so he didn't have a very good time. But
I mean, it is what it is. People gonna people.
That's actually a bar. I like that. People on people. I like that. That's pretty good. Simon Says, you've been out for a little bit. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Good.
Chilling.
Good to see
Ready
you.
to talk to the Marvel whole H thing going down.
Yeah.
Got the Marvel shirt.
Yeah. I won't hold y'all up. Let's get right into some of the news that I want to talk about. So first and foremost, get some quick stuff out of the way. So we know that Street Fighter 6 dropped a really dope trailer for M. Bison and and Mai Shiranui and Terry Bogard and Elena and stuff like that. Well, M. Bison has dropped, I believe, recently, and he's coming out. But in other Street Fighter news, the Street Fighter movie, there's an update for the Street Fighter movie that we have that I wanted to share with you guys. And this is why didn't it switch over? It didn't switch over, but what's going on? It didn't switch over. That's weird.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, you can? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's just not showing on the screen for whatever reason. I don't know why. So can everybody else on the stream see it?
No, I don't see nothing.
I can see it.
You're not on the stream.
It says Street Fighter movie lands 20.
Yeah, I see it in our preview, but I don't see it on the screen.
Yeah, I don't see it on the screen either. So let me figure that out. But there it goes. There it is. I don't know what the hell happened there. Well, at least it was there a second ago. Hold on a second. Let's reload. And maybe once we reload, there we are. That's more like it. There we go. Street Fighter movie lands a 2026 release from Sony. From Sony Pictures. Now, I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't aware that Sony Pictures was actually doing this Street Fighter film. I think some people were tentatively excited because it was going to be another Street Fighter live action film, and maybe they might do it right. But now that I hear that Sony's attached to it, I'm a little worried now. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'd be worried about any video game property because for whatever strange reason, they still can't seem to do them as right as they can be, especially the ones that have stories. I mean, Mortal Kombat should have been extremely easy with all the lore that's in Mortal Kombat. And then they were like, "Oh, let's make up something new." And so,
what was my man's name again? The vessel for Scorpion. What was his name?
Cole. Yeah.
Cole. Like, come on, man. Really?
He wasn't even a vessel for Scorpion. He was a Scorpion descendant.
Yeah.
He should have been.
Show up. Right. Yeah. Exactly. He should have been. But every time Scorpion wanted to say something, they had to take his mask off. He'd say it and put his mask back on.
Yeah.
Like, this is so stupid.
Yeah. Totally stupid. I mean, getting Hiroyuki Sanada to play Scorpion, stroke of genius. Love that all day. But just let my man cook. Don't have him attached to anybody else. Just let him be on the screen. So hopefully they don't do something stupid like that with Street Fighter. But the movie recently parted ways with its two directors, Danny and Michael Filippo. So and it's supposed to come out in 2 years. They really got to get on the ball if they're gonna do that. In my opinion. But speaking of other news concerning movies and stuff that we care about, it was announced today that Marvel is coming back to Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con this year. And why is that such a big deal? It's such a
Can't
big
hear
deal.
you.
You can't hear who? Me? Can't hear me?
Briefly. Yeah, briefly you cut out. So like
I did?
when you're switching over, something else is losing. You.
Okay. Let me see. Let me make sure that you guys can hear me. But anyway, this is a big deal for a couple of reasons. One, they haven't been at Hall H for a while. They've been preferring, I think, to do their own thing with Disney and their kind of like their. I forget what was the con that they had that they always broke all their stuff on. I forget. But Disney had their own.
Yeah.
D23.
D23. Yeah, D23 that they always did. Thank you, Marcus A64. D23 that they always announced all this stuff at. And they kind of, it seemed like a lot of the studios were abandoning San Diego Comic-Con and kind of like taking the media away from it. Well, now Marvel's coming back to it in a year that DC isn't going to be there. Like, so literally they are it. Like, they are going to be the big media attraction at San Diego Comic-Con. And what can they possibly be showing there? Well, they'll be coming hot off the heels of Deadpool and Wolverine. So that'd be a victory lap for that. They also have footage at CinemaCon that was shown from Captain America, New World Order, or Brave New World, whatever the subtitle is now.
They changed that.
I forget what it is. Yeah. They probably will have stuff from the Thunderbolts to show because the Thunderbolts has been actively filming. They can show that. They'll have stuff from Daredevil Born Again, I'm sure, because that was also at CinemaCon, and they have even more in the can for that. But what else could they possibly announce there, right?
Fantastic Four, maybe?
The Fantastic Four should be there. Like, all four of them should be there on stage.
Yeah.
So we're expecting that. And I was watching John Campea earlier today and some speculation of what he had, and there was some pretty good ones. They might bring out Simu Liu and announce Shang-Chi too. They can maybe touch on an update for Blade because Blade has been going through a little bit of trouble, and I think it would behoove them maybe to quiet some things down.
Yeah.
But they also
probably season 2.
Maybe X-Men 97 Part 2. They could do that. But they could also do this.
Hey, I see you. Wolverine Solid X. I see you.
What do you say? What do you say?
X-Men film.
I doubt that. If we're being 100%, I doubt that. I doubt it'll be an X-Men film that they'll do that. But what they could announce is, because one of the things that President Thunderbolt Ross says to Captain America in his film is, I want you to put the Avengers back together. They could announce some updates on the Avengers film because we know that Secret War is coming, but the renamed Kang Dynasty film still needs to come back. I think we lost Dido. Dido dropped out. I don't know what happened to him. He'll be back, I guess, eventually. But they have a lot that they can announce in that one. That could be pretty cool. Iguana Man says that I believe they'll be showing Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is their new animated series that they're doing for Spider-Man. So that actually could be pretty cool as well. What do you guys think? What would you want them to show at Hall H this year that they haven't announced yet?
I mean, news on Blade.
Yeah,
but it's kind of hard because we keep hearing that there, some people are leaving. Like, I guess Delroy Lindo is leaving, so that's probably gonna get pushed back. But it's kind of hard to say. I just wait to see something. I just can't wait to see something.
Oh yeah, me too. I think it's gonna be pretty dope when they do get around announcing stuff. It's gonna be pretty sweet. Couple other news things to get to. Obviously, the announcement Triple H was on the Pat McAfee show earlier this week, announcing that when Raw moves to Netflix, I think, when is that supposed to happen? Anybody know?
2025.
It's so next year. So when Raw moves to Netflix next year, it will be uncensored. So it'll be raw, unfiltered, unedited, all this other kind of stuff. So I think that could be pretty cool. A lot of people are thinking that that'll bring us right back to the Attitude Era where they'll do a lot more edgier stuff. GQ, do you think that really they could do that? Like, would they go all the way back to Attitude Era, or would it just be something different?
Depends on how much Netflix is paying them. If Netflix is going to incur the full-on cost of every potential sponsor, advertisement, tie-in, or whatever that they've ever had for Raw, then fine. Then Netflix will let them do whatever they want to do. If they still have to answer to corporate sponsors in any way, shape, or form, that's still going to tailor and change their version of quote-unquote uncensored. Because the Attitude Era, for what it was great. Good wrestling, great storytelling, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the Attitude Era still won't fly with a modern audience. You might have a lot of diehard wrestling fans that want the Attitude Era. Money is going to talk on that one. So if Netflix is going to basically take over all of that and take all of that corporate potential money that can be made and foot the bill, Attitude Era is probably going to be back. If they still have to answer to Snickers and whoever else and blah blah blah,
Slim Jim, yeah,
it's not going to be 100% the way it was because we're in a different time frame.
Okay.
Well, the agreement was for 10 years, $5 billion for Raw.
Yeah, that's a nice little chunk of change there.
That's a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there ain't gonna be no. This is brought to you by Snickers, any of that stuff.
Nope.
It's $5 billion, and if he's saying what he's saying is gonna be uncensored, I think you take it as literal. But I think it's just gonna be words because like when The Rock came out, Rock wasn't pulling anything, but they had to keep censoring his ass.
Yeah, no, they did that specifically for The Rock, the way he was going off. So he will be definitely not censored on that shit. And then I can basically wholeheartedly say they'll probably do the whole S-bombs and asshole and all that shit. And of course they won't when the crowd does the holy shit chants, they won't blur it out or whatnot. Or how Fox does it, they black the screen out when they say holy shit chants.
Really?
Yeah. But a lot of the Attitude Era for outside of just the language was blood. And I don't know that because that's what cheapens AEW. Almost every match somebody bleeds, or it's Dean Ambrose. Almost he bleeds in damn near every match. You lose the impact of it if everybody bleeds all the time. It's not special anymore.
Exactly, it's
so
a gimmick.
They have to be very judicious about. Okay, we're uncensored, but if everybody's bleeding, then what does it matter when somebody bleeds? So they got to still. Figure out that balance, because otherwise they're just going to become what AEW is. And AEW, to me, some good matches here and there, but AEW is trying to be what ECW was, shock factor, and it's just like, well, that's not enough.
Yeah,
I mean, if you really think about it, I think Triple H knows how to use blood and like how significant it is, because he did it with Cody Rhodes. That led into a storyline, and then earlier on SmackDown, it did the same thing with CM Punk. They made him bleed. It was part of the storyline,
right?
Stuff like that. If you do it like randomly and like how AEW doing it, it's not. It doesn't mean anything. It's like a part of a match that has nothing in it. There's no. I mean, they're trying to build storylines, but unfortunately, they're missing the bar with their storylines.
Well,
And then, like I said, it makes the storyline a lot better if they add blood in it, depending on. But again, they have to do it sparingly, not like, oh, he's gonna bleed every match. No, it has to be done to spice up the story. I should say.
Thank you to Mark Say64 for re-upping his sub it's his 42nd month of being a sub to our channel. So appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Let me jump in there real quick. We'll wrap up that one. Over under odds on there being commissioned a Netflix champion belt.
Please no.
No.
And would GQ get
at
it?
All?
Would GQ get it if they made one?
And the big old end, it had the big end on there.
Head on it. Yes, with a big old head on it.
Ruby
yeah, ruby red head. Yeah, no, I want to see that.
Nah, the only belt left for me to get is the belt that Roman Reigns and then now Cody Rhodes carries. After that, that's it. There's no other belt designs that they're going to come up with that are probably going to be worth my money on that regard.
Famous last words.
What's up to Patrick Perez in the chat there?
Yep, on YouTube. Good to see you. Good say what's up to the other Steve and all the others that have followed and come on in. Last thing in the news I wanted to get to is obviously we know James Gunn's Superman is filming right now, and a lot of set photos have been dropping. So I wanted to share a few choice ones that I've actually seen from that are over on Twitter. So obviously we got a really good look at the Superman suit in live action. So here it is, and
that looks
obviously
better than what it was when they showed it earlier.
When they initially showed, obviously it was all dirty and stuff like that, so we know. But I don't know, something about the suit still bothers me. It looks, first of all, it looks really uncomfortable to wear in the heat. That's first and foremost. Number one. Number two, I kind of hate the lines. They look really over designed. You know what I mean? Like they just look ridiculous. And also there's no real muscle definition. When you compare this one to Henry Cavill's or even Tyler Hoechlin or Christopher Reeves, theirs was kind of form-fitting and they had some muscle definition to them, right? Here it just looks so padded and and fake. We know David Corenswet, good. But
Christopher Reeves didn't have any muscle definition. That was him. Same thing with Henry Cavill.
That's what I mean.
Henry Cavill and Superman both put. Yeah, so the suit itself isn't putting on muscle. I think the other issue you're running into, just like the Flash suit when we initially saw the Flash suit, it looked like trash on pictures.
Yeah.
On screen, it looks fine. So that's the problem. And again, these are probably just leak set photos or whatever. A lot of these companies need to stop doing this or even stop letting this stuff get out because it's like it looks like trash. It's like, okay, fine. It looks like trash in a photo that's probably taken on a cell phone. That has nothing to do with what they're going to do, enhancing it visually when you put it on screen.
Correct.
So yeah, it looks like it's got the Kingdom Come S, which is fine. It's like whatever. It's Superman. They're not going to low budget Superman. If they do, and this is James Gunn's first foray into the new DC movie, cinematic universe, whatever you want to call it, they're not going to go cheap on this. So all these people, it looks like this, it looks like that because you're seeing it in its worst possible form, because it looks washed out and dull right now, because it's not a good picture. Simple as that.
Now this is a better picture of it. This is a better picture of it. If we're looking to see a little bit more definition of it, it does look better in this shot. I still am not a fan of the lines, but shout out to them to making a very authentic looking Mr. Terrific. That jacket looks fire, 100%.
Yes,
it looks sweet.
Fair play.
It fair play on it. Terrific on the bat. He got a fro there. He's got the Tia fro. No freaking cornrows. Switching from one scene to the next, and like he went to the braider and he got cornrows. Like, come on, man. The CW Mr. Terrific, man, trash. Anyway, moving right along. We also got a shot of Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane. We got a couple of shots of that. We also got to see and here's a good comparison of the four suits that we've seen, right? So obviously you got David Corenswet, you got Henry Cavill, Tyler Hoechlin, Christopher Reeve. For his leaves a little something to desire. Theirs look more like muscular and just whatever. We got Jimmy Olsen here in this shot. We got Miss Tessmacher, Cat Grant.
Hold on, is he saving people on a damn plane again?
I don't know. That's what it looked like to me. That's what it looked like to me, just from the set photos. You got Ron Troop, who has never had a live action depiction before, so I thought that was pretty neat. And here's I
don't even know who that is.
He's their black political reporter, and here's him as Clark Kent. Now here's the big thing about him as Clark Kent. His hair as Superman looks nothing like this. Like he's got full on curls here, like a bunch of curls. He does remind me of the Clark Kent that we saw in All-Star Superman, though. That's what that Clark looks like.
Yeah.
That's
what over.
like musty.
That's just weird. I highly hope that that's just one of those shots where it's just like they're really only showing his hands, and you never actually see his head in that shot because his hair looks really
it's
bad.
probably meant to look like that because like he's supposed to be portrayed as a nerd, and he's trying to freaking most definitely. I mean, before it was just the glasses and the hunched over, right? Superman hunched over so he doesn't look like he's or Clark Kent is hunched so he doesn't look like he's as tall as Superman. And now if you give him more physical like changes, people wouldn't question it. I think that's what they're trying to do because remember, movies must be real life.
Yeah, I guess so, but I mean, comb his hair or something.
Right, I know, right. So in this shot, we're seeing a little bit of behind the scenes. In this scene right here, we've got our good old friend Frank Grillo, aka Crossbones from Captain America and from the MCU. He's playing Rick Flag Sr.
So we're arresting him again.
And they are arresting Superman. And Superman is being arrested by the army, but this is Ulysses from the New 52. So that's interesting seeing Superman literally being arrested. So those are some of the set photos that we saw. And in the chat, Hand of Omega was asking who is playing Lex Luthor. It is our good old friend Nicholas Hoult, who played Beast in the Fox-Men movies. And there's a shot of him.
Was that saying about becoming a hero and a villain?
Something like that. Yeah, no, I hear you.
I like Holt more than I like Eisenberg. So
that's a low bar. That's a super low bar. Super low bar to clear.
No, Holt as an actor, he's done more. He's done more of a range of roles.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I like Holt more than I like Eisenberg. Eisenberg plays the same basic character over and over all the time. And in the direction that Snyder had him play Luthor for was just annoying. At least with Nicholas Hoult, you got a good actor in there that's playing Lex Luthor. So we'll see how it goes.
True. All of that is true. You are 100% right about that. I can't wait to see his take. Now, let's get to the Acolyte episode 5, which by all intents and purposes is regarded as the best episode of the season thus far. It's had its ups and downs. People have enjoyed some episodes better than others, but everybody seemingly really loved this episode. And there's a lot of things to love about it. Obviously, it had the best lightsaber dueling or fighting that we've seen since the prequel trilogy. Some people say it's the best since Revenge of the Sith. For me, what stood out to me was just the brutality that we got to see. We got to see a young in his prime Sith do his thing on screen, and that's to me what was the biggest standout to me. But I don't want to hold you up. Let's hear from the fellas. Simon says you weren't on the watch party last night in Discord. Why don't you share with the rest of everybody else your thoughts on last night's episode and what you thought?
I thought it was all right. I mean, the brutality, like you said, it was like, damn, man. It's like looked like a damn. What is it? Walked into a bar and everyone all strung out. I was like, what the hell just happened here?
Everybody's all strung out. What?
Man, no, she woke up and it's like, damn, did I miss something? Because like, old girl was knocked out for a brief moment and then like 5-6 Jedi already dead. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
But technically, it was only one on the ground. But when she came to,
they were getting slaughtered.
They were getting slaughtered one after another. Yeah, 100%. No, there was some good stuff. Hand of Omega is saying he would love to have seen GQ's face during the Sith battle. So GQ, what was your face looking like during the Sith battle? Was it like, a vicious grin? Like, yes, this is awesome. This is what I wanted.
I liked it. They could have done better as far as the overall staging of the fight. It was good fighting and good choreography. The problem was we got basically a 3-minute slaughter, and I would have liked to have seen a little bit more in the sense of like, okay, now granted, they're not going to go all out Phantom Menace, Battle of Theed, choreography and craziness because they didn't have, that wasn't the setting. But it would have been nice to have seen a little bit more of him handling, let's say, for example, each of the different Padawans and Jedi Masters were going through some of the different lightsaber forms, showing that he's adept at fighting against all lightsaber forms with zero problem. Something like that versus just people, whacking and swinging as hard as they can. That's part of the reason I don't think this was the best choreography of lightsaber. So it was just different stuff that we've seen.
Interesting.
And that was the main thing. It was different. He impaled somebody and then did a double impale. That was cool. Never seen that
was
before.
very cool. Very cool.
But as far as like the best choreography of Star Wars, no, this is just different. It's not superb, great choreography like what you saw in Revenge of the Sith and stuff like that. It was just different moves were being showcased.
Now, I want to be clear. I wasn't saying they're saying it was the best. They're just saying it was the best since that. That's all. Just want to say that. Dido, share your thoughts on the battle and the stuff that you saw in this episode.
Kind of like piggybacking on what everybody's saying. I think it was some of the best that we have seen so far. It might have looked to UGQ like a bunch of people whacking away at the lightsabers, but they said in the thing that he has no form. We don't know how to, combat this because he's fighting with passion, whatever training that he has, and they're stuck to their rigid ways of, because they only train with each other or, droids or whatever. And since Sith don't exist, they don't have anything really to combat what was going on because his whole thing is like, I'm going to do what I want and live how I want to live. And he fights how he want to fight. And they really didn't have an answer for it. So, like, I think they were doing some pretty cool stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you saw for the first time in live action has been around forever. That metal, of which I can't remember the name of, starts with a C.
Cortosis.
Cortosis. Apparently, has been around for a while now. It's canon. And then now you got the first time. Somebody said it was the first time that they threw a lightsaber like that, where it was going through. But it's probably the first time that you saw it. It's not the first time. I think Darth Vader did it. In Empire Strikes Back.
Vader did do it, but it wasn't across that kind.
It wasn't like the same. It was the same.
Well, no, he did it. He did it in Return of the Jedi. The technology at the time did not allow them to show because if you look at Return of the Jedi, he throws it at Luke, it goes up, then you see it suddenly change trajectory.
Yeah,
that was the most that they could show back then because they didn't have the tech to really show it flying through and cutting through all of the parts of the bridge that he was standing on. But yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. That's the first time you saw it really just outright fly around killing trees and whatnot
and everything.
And to your point, you're 100% right. They didn't know how to handle him. What I'm saying is I would have liked to have seen more people trying to show that, hey, we're approaching him with these various forms and it doesn't matter. That was my problem with it because it was over so quick. Because again, it's a double-edged sword. You're trying to show that he's powerful and a serious force to be reckoned with, but at the same time, it's kind of that, okay, well, Doomsday goes up against somebody. You need to show that Doomsday is ridiculously powerful, so he kills them quickly, versus seeing that like this doesn't work, that doesn't work. So it's hard to do both, unfortunately. And that's just how I looked at it. So, like I said, I love lightsaber battles. I just would have liked to see that one stretched out a little bit more to show how ineffective they all are against him. Now, the Cortosis part was amazing.
Yes, it was
because it came out of the blue. They just did it, and it was just like, oh, sweet, cool, and they didn't explain it, and I love that because now it's like, oh, what the hell is that? Go to the books, figure it out.
Yep, go to the books, go to the internet, and figure it out. Exactly, 100%. And to your point, GQ, I think what you were saying about it being improperly staged, I guess that one part was what bothered me. It did seem like it was similar to how it wasn't as bad, right? But it reminded me a lot of Batman Begins. Remember how all the fight scenes of Batman Begins were kind of like really close up and you couldn't really clearly see the action very well. I think there was a lot of that in this where because they were in such a narrow corridor or narrow space, there was no real way to see the action flowing like you would like to see. That doesn't take away from what we saw being, really effective and brutal, right? But you just thought that maybe it could have been staged a little bit better to be a little bit more visually impactful in a way, So
I also like the fact that this is the first time in Star Wars we've seen somebody's neck broken physically.
Yes.
Normally this is Vader just choking him out and breaking it. This guy literally went up and gripped him up and was like, nah.
Well, hold on. Vader did break someone's neck in A New Hope.
Not physically, like literally grabbing them and twisting their neck like your guy got. Now,
yeah, Vader was just holding that dude up and then he
literally just
suddenly just cracked. But
like,
it was this was a legitimate old school action movie.
Yes.
Well, I have a question in the TGQ. Then would it make a little more the battle had it been maybe maybe two more masters with the group with the lightsaber fight?
Well, here's the thing. I would have rather seen the damn Wookiee get involved and not just be dead in his chair.
Damn right.
I agree.
What better way to show how powerful this dude is than for the Wookiee to be mixed up with all of them and he's still running through them?
I mean, technically, he did run through the Wookiee because she showed up and he was already dead. Had already did that.
But we
didn't see it.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Some things need to be, you don't need to see everything.
But wasn't the Wookiee a master too? If I'm not
mistaken, he was a master.
Yeah. And that's the thing cheated. But you may have felt cheated. I felt cheated. I didn't feel cheated at all. I personally felt really rewarded of what I saw in the fight, how he took them out, how things that we never seen before. Like my man stabbed one dude, ran into the other one, and used a force to pull the other person through. That, and then for me, I felt very satisfied with everything that I saw. Now, I understand you wanted to see the Wookiee fight, but that was not the whole point. He was already said that he was strong enough to take the Wookiee out because he took it out, and then he took everybody out except for Soul. And there's obviously a reason for that. So, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
100%. We're going to get to that. Obviously, like GQ said, the double impalement. And then to follow that off with cutting off their heads after he impaled them. Yeah, by the way, which was pretty sweet as well. Let's give some props to Jackie as well. Daphne Keene is 2 for 2 in playing really great younger action stars, like being X-23 in Logan. Like she for the most part stole the show, and she was like 12, I think, or something like that at the time. And she stole the show with a lot of her action scenes. Here she is. She's like nearly 20 years old or something like that, I think, as a Padawan. And she had arguably probably the best sequence of fighting against the Master as a Padawan, with Jackie. Obviously, the way she went out, very brutal, very unexpected, made us gasp like, oh, no, not Jackie.
Shit, yeah.
You're
just starting to get to like her, and it was like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You gone.
Right, exactly.
House of the Dragon up in there.
For real. Like now, Yord, nobody really liked Yord anyway. So seeing his neck get broke like that, who cares?
I was still a little shocked.
That's different.
I was still a little shocked just because you never seen anybody get taken out like that in Star Wars. I haven't seen. You've seen tons of impalement. You've seen people get their heads cut off. You never seen just bat. No. So that was very still surprising to me.
Yeah, and again, shout out to the the stunt coordinators for actually showcasing the Jedi actually do have hands. They were throwing hands. Soul was throwing hands with the Master. Jackie was doing a little things, the whole, basically hilt bashing and knocking off the helmet and doing the reveal, which I think was pretty dope. But the ability to show that the Jedi could fight hand to hand, not just rely solely on their lightsabers to do their thing, which I think was pretty awesome. So let's get to what a lot of people say is the controversial aspects of this episode. Let's start off with May. May being the person who was seemingly switching sides, was going to turn herself into the Jedi, and then all of a sudden now she's fighting the Jedi. And there's been a lot of conversation from those knuckleheads, who want to hate on the show and love to nitpick, to say, well, why is it that, May was going to go turn herself in, and now all of a sudden she's fighting the Jedi? GQ, what do you say? What's the possible reason that May possibly might want to switch her stance around?
I don't think it's so much her switching her stance. She's just trying to survive. We clearly see
there you go. That's it.
We finally get to see that why she's scared of this guy and what type of threat he actually is. So, she's a survivor. That's all there is to it. We still don't know the full story about the fire that burned the witches or whatever happened there. We still don't know that whole story. She's taking advantages of basically like, okay, what's going to keep me alive longer? And for what she thinks now, stowing away with the Jedi pretending to be Osha, she is probably going to keep her alive longer. So that's where we're at right now. Obviously, episode 6 will continue that thread, and we'll see where it goes. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I would like to see, in some crazy way, this guy. I don't know whether he's the master or the apprentice. To try to turn Osha and maybe have some headway in that, especially if he can dive into people's minds.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to see.
100%. Now, I want to say I don't know if this is their first time commenting, but over on YouTube, Amil says, I like how Chimera proved that it is possible to kill a Jedi without a weapon by killing your order with his bare hands. Message to May. 100%. Now, May was just crying all last episodes, like, how am I supposed to kill a Wookiee Jedi with my bare hands and all this other kind of stuff? Now, we're not saying that May would have been able to be like climb the mountain that is Kelnaka and then break his neck, but doing it without using a weapon. Obviously, if she had channeled into the dark side of the Force and force choked, Kelnaka or anybody else, that probably would have fulfilled the requirements that Chimera was looking for as well. But speaking also to May and Osha's relationship, whereas the sisters are somewhat reunited, but end up switching places. Some people are really upset that May left Osha seemingly to die, and leaving her with the master, and then switching up with Saul. And they're mad that Saul couldn't immediately tell that it wasn't Osha that he was talking to. Some of these nitpicks really bother me because it's almost like they're not really paying attention to the show that they're watching, right? Because you can clearly see that after May and Osha talk, with May saying that, oh, you've been brainwashed, they've turned you against me, and then she basically force pushes her and knocks her out, cuts her hair and wants to switch, she's under the impression that the master who's trying to kill her will kill Osha instead and she will be able to survive. That's literally it. Like, I got that just from watching the episode. So I don't understand where all these people come from and their gripes about the nitpicking and stuff like that. But I don't want to get into that too much. Where do we think this is headed, guys? Like Dido Simon says, where do you think this is headed? Like in episode 6, what do you think we're going to see here?
We're going to see the unfolding of what's going on. That's basically it. My honest opinion, I don't pay attention to those clowns anymore. I don't really give a shit about them because a lot of them, think they like Star Wars, but can't attribute that Star Wars has always been hokey, bad lines, good special effects. It's a great thing to watch. It makes you, whatever. I like Star Wars in all of its forms. I've enjoyed this story, and watching this unfold to me is like super awesome because when's the last time you've seen any kind of mystery in Star Wars where you're like, okay, what's happening? What's going on? I want to see more, what's the background, going on? I have not seen anything like that. So hopefully it doesn't land on a dud. We find out what Soul did. I think that's where we're going on. We're going to find out if this, what is his name? Chimera, if he's going to have a master and he's trying to break out on his own. That's the reason why he's trying to, get an apprentice so he can power up and kill his master or something, because the rule of 2 type thing. There's a lot of stuff that we can all speculate. I just want them to tell a story that I feel satisfied with. And so far, I'm not disappointed with what I'm seeing.
Okay, Simon says, what were you going to say?
No, it's like he said, he wanted his own apprentice. So I'm wondering, like what Dio said, he might want to try to break away from his master and then start his own, rule of 2. But I mean, I'm just enjoying it. I haven't even heard anything about what people are saying. I'm just like blocking it out. I really don't care what most people say. I'm just going to watch it, see what happens, and go from there.
Now, I have a few theories, obviously, and we talked about them in the watch party chat after the show, and also over on our Facebook channel where we kind of discuss some of our theories. So I think I'll save that for there. If you want to come over there, come and follow us over on Facebook. Come to facebook.com/Culture Junkies, or you can hop into our Discord. If you want the invite, it's and you're on Twitch at !Discord, and enter into the chat, and you'll get the invite, and you can you'll be able to join us on our next watch party. But yeah, I'm enjoying the Acolyte so far. I'm not gonna say it's like the greatest that we've gotten, but you can easily rank the shows, right? We all know that Book of Boba Fett is dead last.
Yes.
If just by proxy of the show pretty much seemingly went nowhere and then abruptly turned into Mandalorian season 2.5. like out of nowhere from one episode. Like what? And then the rest of it was like, okay, we don't care about Boba anymore. What's going on with Din and Grogu? That's all we care about, you know. Ahsoka, I really like that show. Well, I say probably above Book of Boba Fett is Obi-Wan. I think the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I'd say the Acolyte is probably right there in the middle. Ahsoka is above that, and then the Mandalorian is above that. So out of the 5, so middle of the pack, which isn't bad, right? It's not bad. It's not a bad show in my opinion. I just think a lot of people have a lot of ingrained hate and access to grind, and they're not really giving this show the fair chance that they think, because they're so worried about, oh, it's breaking canon, it's breaking lore. Shut up. Anyway, I digress. Moving right along. So obviously, we got 3 more episodes left. And there's still a couple of people that have yet to appear in this show. So looking out for that. There's still a lot more stuff to be revealed on this show before we get out there. Hand of Omega says, even so there were parts of Boba Fett I really liked. That whole ending battle was mostly fire. Yes, the ending battle, what was that? Mos Espa that they were at? I thought was pretty dope. Yeah, which I thought was pretty dope. Obviously, Boba riding the Rancor was dope as hell. I think everything was pretty dope. Yeah, and Takeem is right. We still haven't even seen the saber whip. Like, I was expecting to see the saber whip in this fight, and we didn't get it. So where in the hell is it coming from? Who's using the saber whip? Because I thought it was Kel Naka that had the saber whip. If we're being honest, I thought it was Kel Naka. So yeah, we'll see about that. Anyway, we also today we got a couple of trailers that came out that I think are very interesting, and I wanted to share with everybody here. So let's start with the first one, which is Bruce Timm's return to the Dark Knight. Batman Caped Crusader Season 1, the trailer.
Asking the question on everyone's mind these days, what do you think about the Batman?
I'm frightened. This whole city's gone to hell in a handbasket.
Well, he's breaking the law, ain't he? So they ought to catch that freak and lock him up.
I won't say it's gonna be easy, but catching criminals is what we do. So this one dresses up like Dracula, so what? We're gonna take him down. What do we know about this Batman?
He's been beating the tar out of muggers and dope peddlers out there the last few weeks.
He's mostly been seen at night driving that hot rod of his 100 miles an hour.
Even attacking our brave police.
Nice car.
This man is not a hero, he's a criminal. And his time in Gotham is up.
Mischief afoot, sir?
3 explosions in 2 weeks. Peculiar. There's something more going on here.
He knows too much. He's an itch that needs to get scratched.
The kings don't run this court anymore. The jester does.
Bang!
Look out! We could be looking at an all-out gang war on the streets of Gotham.
This is a losing battle. 100 other monsters will show up to replace anyone you take down.
Probably. But now they'll all know I'm coming for them.
Good shit, in my opinion. Yeah, I honestly, there's a lot to like about this show getting ready to come out. I do love that the era they're putting it in. I know some people are going to be like, Well, back in like the 1930s or 40s, whenever this seemingly is set in, visually, the prominence of not only Black people but women in roles of authority for some of the authoritarian purists out there, that's going to rub them the wrong way. But for me, there's a lot to like about this. This seems to be much darker in tone than even Batman the Animated Series was, because there's a lot more horror elements that seem to be infused with this show. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. What'd you guys think? GQ, Dido, what'd you think?
I think it looks like it's going to be good. The trailer gave some that's how you do a trailer to keep me intrigued. It didn't really say too much about what's going on. It gave me clips, and it made me want to watch the show. So it looks like it'll be kind of fun. It doesn't look like the other Batman series that came out that probably weren't bad, but I didn't watch, like The Batman and some other ones that could have been. But this one sounded like it would be a good watch.
Yeah. I feel like I didn't give The Batman a fair enough shake, just because it was the next solo one after Batman the Animated Series and the Justice League. I kind of wrote it off. But a lot of people, looking back, said The Batman was actually a really decent show. Batman the Brave and the Bold, I think a lot of people loved that show. Not just because it was campy, but just because it was just kind of overall awesome as a show. But yeah, the Batman, I didn't give too much of a chance. What was that other one? There was a Beware the Batman. I think it was like Beware the Batman. That was a dud. That was dead on arrival. Yeah, it was dead on arrival. I don't know what the hell that was. Wait a minute, is Hannah Omega serious right here? Hannah Omega says even got Clancy Brown back as Luthor. Is that for real? Luthor's in the show. Lex Luthor's in this show? What?
Beware the Batman, or not Beware the Bat, but the Batman.
No, I'm talking about in Batman Cape Crusader. No, is he talking about in the Batman? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
The Batman.
Okay, no, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Rob over on Facebook says, "Holy crap, that was my first viewing of the new animated Batman series. Looks great." He's right. No, he's right. It does look good. Can't wait to see more. Obviously, it's coming out August 1st, so we'll definitely have to watch out for that. There was another trailer that came out yesterday that I wanted to show you, and it is Red One, and it's starring our favorite Captain America and Black Adam, The Rock.
498, 499, 500.
Let's go heavy. Yeah, got it. Looking strong, Nick.
Go on, brush your shoulders off.
Red One is on the move.
Evening, ladies. What are you so excited about? Of course, your boyfriend's here. Okay. Who's with Red? Reach!
Someone took Nick. We're gonna find him.
I'm bringing in Jack O'Malley. He's probably the best tracker in the world.
The guy's a legend.
What am I doing here?
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted from the North Pole complex.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
Garcia?
What the hell?
You can't trust this guy. He's on the list.
You don't mean...
Yes, that list. NL4.
Are you telling me this clown is a level 4 naughty lister? A level 4 naughty lister?
Oh, is that funny to you?
Hey, you're gonna help us find Nick.
Come on, let's go.
Grab a car.
For what?
You don't have a Wonder Woman action figure, do you?
It's not how it works. Come on. There is much in here that is not of the natural world.
Who's that?
Krampus.
What are they doing?
They're playing crayfish slop.
I think if you don't need me here, I might just go back to the car.
We need to prepare for the possibility of no Christmas.
There's worse ways to go out than trying to save Santa Claus. We got snowmen! That was so disturbing.
Interesting.
My turn!
Oh my God.
Is my face still there?
Yeah, you look
good.
Yeah, no, what? Yeah, 100%. I think that's gonna be an awesome movie.
It looks.
I love these Christmas themed movies that we're getting that are like, you could tell they're made for the adults. They're not necessarily made for the kids. Violent Night still stands to me as my #1 favorite adult Christmas movie. Now, like I never really I don't really like not Chris. What's his name? Will Ferrell. I'm not really a Will Ferrell guy, so I never really got into Elf. I didn't really like Elf. You know, I never watched it, never really got to it. But Violent Night, 100% my type of movie. Love it. It was great. Can't wait for Violent Night 2. Hope it comes out. Hope it comes soon. But this could end up being in the rotation. This it looks good. It does look good.
It looks interesting. I don't know. I mean, if Chris Kringle's that strong, how to get kidnapped?
That's what we're gonna find out.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna find out. 100%. I mean, maybe this is his ploy to, like, with Tim Allen's The Santa Claus, to find his replacement or whatever. Like he's ready to retire and get somebody else in the chair. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. It's Mark Cooper is joining the chat. Well, welcome, sir. He says, yeah, this will be good. Hannah Omega's like, dude, he kidnapped himself. Yeah, maybe. But we'll see. No, I mean, honestly though, man, this looks like it's gonna be a really good movie, and I'm enjoying it.
I mean, the whole idea is it's supposed to just be fun. It's supposed to be something different. It's a new Christmas movie, so yeah, it's whatever. It'll be fun, probably.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's 100% going to be fun. Going to be a fun movie. Can't wait to see it. All right, so that's mostly all that I've got today. Any other things that are out there in the ether that we want to wrap up the show with? A few more minutes before we wrap up the show. That we want to talk. Anything that I miss from news and notes and trailers that you guys wanted to bring up?
What's the chat say?
I put it out there. I think we got to give them a little bit of time to get into it. So we'll see. Obviously, new trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero came out today as a character trailer. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I saw that. It was weird. They were doing like, I think that theme was like sword and fist or something like that. So that was interesting.
What theme?
The theme of the trailer was sword and fist. So it had like a lot of the characters with swords. And,
for Dragon Ball, yes.
Yeah, for the Sparking one. Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting dynamic, but I don't know. I wonder if they're gonna because I know they're doing like alternate. I wonder if they're gonna add like Moro and Granola, those characters in as well.
Probably not.
Does the glaive detach from its background?
Does the glaive detach from the background over there?
Yeah, this is the glaive. Nice and close and up close and sweet and awesome in all its glory. So yes, it easily detaches from the background. So.
But is it, I mean, obviously you'd never do this, but could you realistically throw it and it actually hit its target? Okay.
Yeah.
So you put this to the test.
It's throwable. I mean, the guy that I got it from, it's throwable. I'm not going to because it's
right. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? 100%. No.
But yeah, you can throw
do the knives retract at all?
Nope, that would have been a $1,500 model.
Wow, there's a $1,500 model. Wow,
damn.
Awesome.
No, the guy. No, I talked to the guy. I was like, because he showcased that there was one, and I was like, well, would you sell it? He's like, no, I made one. It took me about $1,500 to make it. So now, granted, if he's going to sell it, he's going to sell it for more than $1,500. So, but yeah, I even asked him. I was like, will you ever sell the retractable one? He's like, no, it's a one-off. I'm like, okay, I get it.
So a couple of things out of the chat. Let's see. Patrick Perez is asking, any new shirts? Do we have any new shirts? No, we do not right now. Maybe when we come back and we actually do, honestly, that's the other thing I kind of do want to talk about briefly. We're getting ready. We're putting the finishing touches on our brand new set. I know it's been a while since we've had a set and we've done it all together with us being in the same room together, but it's almost done. And it looks awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's gonna be sweet. Really, really cool. Can't wait for you to see it. So when we do get back in, maybe we'll have a few more, a few other shirts to show off that they'll be new. Hand of Omega is saying, Patrick Perez also said, why they keep doing Batman Year Zero. Would you be interested in Batman Incorporated? So I
don't know.
I'd be interested. I don't think the public would be interested in a Batman Incorporated. The only reason I say that is because there would have to be a bit of a buildup for them to get that. And if we're being 100% honest, people like Batman for Batman. They don't like Batman for the others. Like, yes, Nightwing is an exception. Batgirl is an exception. But mostly everybody else in his supporting cast, the general public don't fuck with. They don't. They just don't. It's
but if you really think about it, but yeah, it would have been nice if they did say for instance, they decided to do like a Nightwing actual animated series, have him like operating blood.
I would love for Dick Grayson to get
I would love to see that.
I would love to see that. That would be awesome. Love to see it. I just don't think they'll ever let him shine. It always seems like if you're gonna let the Dick Grayson character have any kind of an animated presence, it's always going to be with the Teen Titans. Yes, in live action we got Dick Grayson Nightwing, but again, it was with the Titans. It was never him on his own, right? They never let him fly on his own, which I think they should. I think it'd be cool.
Easiest way to do Batman Incorporated is you started off as a Batman solo series where you get a lot of guest appearances from the other members of Batman Incorporated. Then by the time you get to season 2, you switch the name to Batman Incorporated and have all of the various guest stars show up more prominently, show up doing stuff, show up having solo episodes that don't necessarily deal with the Batman himself. You could definitely do a Batman Incorporated show. You just have to lead into it properly. That's how we got Justice League. You started off with Batman and Superman, and you built up the Justice League. It can be done.
I'm not saying that it couldn't be. I just don't think the general public would gravitate toward it as much as they should.
The general public does what you've trained them to do.
Again, the Justice League Unlimited as the template is the way to go, 100%. Because when you look at Justice League Unlimited, what did they do? They introduced a bunch of people in the DC pantheon. Nobody had ever heard of. And all of a sudden, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm a Question fan. Oh, I'm a Green Arrow fan. Oh, I'm a Black Canary fan." All of a sudden.
So the general audience is lemmings, and you lead them to where you want them to go. That's all. You just have to do it with good storytelling. That's what they've been doing for years with the animated DC stuff. So they can do it again. They just need to actually have the proper storytellers to do it.
100%. Speaking
of
animated,
I would really like to see. I would like to see like the I guess the animated version of like the What If, but the DC's version with Tales from the negative multiverse.
So you like to see what like an Elseworlds, a DC Elseworlds animated?
No
stuff.
No, not Elseworlds, but the comics. What they were doing was it was called Tales from the Negative Multiverse, where Temporal Fugonaut was telling the story of like Negative Earth 23, where Superman died, but Lois Lane became like the Eradicator, and then she went off and started killing everybody. Or yeah, or like they did one with Bruce Wayne was committed to Arkham, but he became Hush or something like that. So something like those stories would
Really
be nice.
flipping stuff
Like
on
they
their
did,
heads
if they
like
did an
that.
animated series. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did the comics. Those comics were pretty much dope. It was like basically the Negative Multiverse, where the Batman who last came from.
As much as I would love to see
the
those,
dark
right?
multiverse.
As much as I would love to see those, I think this is what hurts DC in that regard. Again, if you're not doing it with the main ones, like the main Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, right? It might be a little bit too obscure for like the hardcore fan of me would love to have it. Speaking of, by the way, the Green Lantern TV series is official, has been greenlit to come to 8-episode series coming to HBO Max, so I'm excited for that at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not sure we'd be able to do that. Now, to answer out of the chat, we got a question from Takeem. It says, question for the panel, back to the Acolyte real quick with Osha and May. Is anyone else sick and tired of they fight instead of having a 10-minute conversation trope? I'm not sure I follow 100% what he's saying, but I think he's saying, why did May and Osha fight instead of talk? Now, I think they did talk. I mean, again, they tried to talk. But I think Osha's thing was she couldn't let what she perceived to have happened back in the past. She couldn't let it go. So she tried to arrest. Right there, Hand of Omega. Poor communication skills. That right there. Poor communication skills. Both of them are holding on.
Poor communication kills.
Oh, poor communication kill. Well, it still applies. They're poor communication skills. It still applies, but no, I think both of them are still holding on to resentment of the past that they can't let go of, and they're not going to talk it out.
I hope they both kill each other.
They might again.
No, straight up. I hope they both kill each other.
Didn't we go over that last night?
I hope they both kill each other, and at the end, I hope they both kill each other, and then at the end, find out that neither one of them was responsible for anything, and it was actually the Jedi that messed things up.
Yeah, I really want to see what the hell it is that Soul did. Yeah, I want to see what Soul did. 100%. I want to see that. I really want to see. I can't wait to see what shakes out from that.
It's going to be interesting. And what I was theorizing, though, is going to be that because the switch, Soul's going to tell his perspective to what he thinks is Osha, and it's actually going to be May, and May is going to be like, holy crap, the Jedi didn't have anything to do with this. And then maybe on the opposite side, you're going to have, Osha being told something else. Yeah, being told something else that causes them to flip their thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
For me, I personally would love to see Osha. For my money, I think Osha's getting turned by Chimera. I think Soul knows that it's May, and basically she ends up escaping, trying to go back or rescues Osha. Osha is now flipped and turned, and like GQ is saying, they both have to fight each other to maybe become the final Acolyte or whatever. Yeah. I would love to see that, actually. I think that would be better. I think that would be better, in my opinion. All right, y'all. That's our time for the show for today. It's after 10 o'clock. We're gonna wrap it up. Obviously, a lot of really cool stuff came out. Looking forward to more.
No hand.
We are also, be on the lookout. Speaking of animated DC stuff, Suicide Squad Isekai, the first 3 episodes supposedly did drop or are dropping today internationally, so they might be available somewhere. You might want to go check it out. I think I'm going to try and figure out a way I could check it out and watch it and maybe talk about it next week. The full shows come out next week on its regular schedule, so look out for that. We got the Acolyte coming out later this week, and we also got A Quiet Place. What is it? Is that the second one, or is it the third?
It'd be the third one.
The third one that's getting ready to come out this weekend.
Third film prequel.
Yeah,
it was the
prequel.
Team, I like where you're going with that. Tales from the Dinosaurs by my man's
getting Tartakovsky's
that was
where is he? Where did he go, by the way?
I don't know.
Like I think he was doing that show, what, Primal?
Symbiotic type.
No, I thought he was doing that that show that was on Max about the caveman or something like that.
Yeah, Primal. That's his show.
Yeah, Primal. Yeah, I thought that was his show. Yeah.
But no, he did Symbiotic Titan. That was actually good. I'm kind of mad that it got canceled. That was a good show.
Hey, yeah. These things happen. Anyway, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you all being here. Appreciate all your comments. Looking forward to, entertaining you all right here next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, Wednesday night. For my friends, the Great Atakuji, GQ, and Simon Says, I'm Kishiro. See you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace out. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.